My brothers and sisters, what's going on? Still sermon. You know who it is. You know what time it is. It's after the game. The Steelers drop it 16-14 at home to the Baltimore Ravens. A game in which I dared Mike Tomlin to lose this Sunday. A game in which I said no matter what happens, that I would come on here, if we win in the ugliest way possible, that I would come on here and say nothing bad. But let me tell you, there is absolutely no redeeming qualities about this game whatsoever. None. And I'm not putting this on Mike Tomlin. Although I will give him partial blame for the one thing that I am absolutely going to rip into in this video. So, judging by the thumbnail and judging by the title of this video and judging by if you were in Steel Twins' stream or not and you heard what I was saying, if you're listening, you might want to turn your headphones down because I am incredibly pissed off right now. Like, I have not been more mad about a loss probably since the wild card from 2 years ago against the Browns. That's how mad I am. So Kenny Pickett gets injured in this game. Apparently, I don't know the full story of it. The only person that has 100% knowledge about what happened is Tomlin. But it doesn't make any sense at the same time because he was cleared to play in the game. But you still keep him out anyway. And it made a little bit more sense early on because Kenny Pickett was being evaluated for a concussion, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if he's cleared to play, why don't you put him in? And you go evaluate him again. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. So in comes trash-ass, no good, absolute excrement, Mitch Trubisky, 100% squarely cost us this game today. I am 100% putting this one on Mitch today. Now I know why his ass was a backup in Buffalo, and now I see why he was absolutely ripped a new one in Chicago. The guy sucks. The guy absolutely blows. Did nothing at all for us today except for one drive in the first quarter that led Najee Harris for the only touchdown, or pretty much the only touchdown for us today, except for the other one that we got in garbage time. Not before Mitch Trubisky threw 3 incredibly crappy, ridiculous interceptions today. Get off the team. As a matter of fact, go down to West Virginia with Dan Moore, Deontay Johnson, Derek Shelton, Andy Haynes. Go down to Eden Park, start scrubbing toilets, you bum! Every time with this guy. First read. How many fucking times are you going to lock down on Freiermuth? How many times are you not going to turn your head? And how many times are you going to miss open receivers? How many times? Trash ass. Every single time with this guy. Misses assignments. Misses guys open. Locks down on one guy. Never takes his eyes off the damn tight end. Absolute garbage. And I sit down here every week looking like a damn fool saying, oh yeah, this guy can be a good backup for us. Oh, this guy can be the bridge guy for when Kenny Pickett's ready. No, I ain't giving him that no more. The guy sucks. So all you Mitch fanboys down in the comments section, eat a nice big bowl of crow because this guy sucks. 100% sucks. And this loss is on him. Okay? Offensive line, actually, you know what? If you want to take a positive out of this game, balls out to the offensive line. They did their job this afternoon, except for letting up one sack on Kenny Pickett that ultimately got him injured. But other than that, offensive line blocked well. They gave Mitch time to throw. They gave him an ample amount of time to make a decision, and Mitch still fucks it up! I have absolutely had it with this guy. I tried to be fair with him. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. Tried to give him a fair chance. But if you saw me on my old channel with Mitch, I said from the first time that we got him that I did not like the move, and I heavily disagreed with it. And then someone reminded me down in the comments, Sermon, your first assumption or your first reaction with something is usually the correct one. God almighty, was I wrong about Mitch Trubisky. And you know, I wouldn't even give this guy... You want to talk about Deontay Johnson being a waste of money. And by the way, Deontay Johnson freaking runs backwards again! $18 million for you to run backwards, huh, Deontay? $18 million. And granted, he did have a couple of good catches today, but still, he's freaking running backwards. But you want to talk about guys like Deontay Johnson being a waste of money, and he is. You want to know what the bigger waste of money for this team is? It's number 10 out there. Because Omar Khan, I don't know if the Rooney's, Omar Khan, whoever it is running this circus here in Pittsburgh, clearly has their head up their asses because that's where this quarterback is throwing the ball from. Okay? He missed guys again. He missed more open guys. He was playing safe again. And at this point, I really don't think Zach Gentry could have done any worse because Mason Rudolph was inactive today for whatever reason. I really don't know what the reason was, but I would love to know at this point. But Mason Rudolph was inactive today. So, God forbid if something was to happen to Mitch. Actually, you know what? If something did happen to Mitch Trubisky today, I really don't see how Zach Gentry could have done worse. I could have gone in there and did a better game than Mitch. I could have. And I've never played quarterback in my life. This guy is one of the worst throwers I have ever seen in my life, bar none. And I've seen some really bad throwers with the ball, don't get me wrong. But Mitch, he's easily top 3. And you know, if Mason Rudolph is ready to go, if Mason Rudolph is going to be on this roster next year, I am so ready to move on from Mitch Trubisky. So ready to get rid of this guy. We should never have brought him in here in the first place. Big old $14 million mistake for Mitch Trubisky. A guy who plays it way too safe. And the fans down there just continue to coddle him for God knows why. And he's out there costing us a game. There is a reason that Mitch got benched against the New York Jets all the way back in week 4. And we saw Kenny Pickett every week since then. There's a reason for that. Because Mitch Trubisky cannot read defenses. He plays it way too safe. He's locked on one guy. He stares down receivers. And he makes some of the most ridiculous throws of all time. Okay? He cost us week 2 against New England. Should have cost us week 1 against Cincinnati. Now all them interceptions that defenders were dropping against Mitch Trubisky, they're coming back to bite him in the ass. Because he threw 3 today. 2 of them were on the same exact situation. Never took his eyes off Muth. And the Ravens read that pass like a book. They were ready for it. The 3rd pick may as well have been a punt. Because he overshot Johnson by about a yard. And it was an easy interception for Williams. So, Mitch fans, who are those 3 picks on, huh? Because let me tell you, if Kenny Pickett threw those 3 interceptions, I know Kenny Pickett's haters would have been bashing him down in the comments regardless of what the situation was. So, Mitch fans, answer this. Who are those picks on? Huh? Whose fault is that? Those interceptions, they have nothing to do with Matt Canada. Nothing to do with scheme. Nothing to do with formations. Nothing to do with the game plan. And you can say whatever you want about Mitch Trubisky, with him being a backup, with him not living up to par in Chicago, being carried by the defense. You can say whatever the hell you want to say about Mitch Trubisky. At the end of the day, this guy's decision-making blows. And it showed today. Back-to-back drives interceptions. Those are drive killers. And I know, it's easy to blame Boswell because, if that field goal didn't get blocked, Steelers would have won today and Mitch would have redeemed everything. Fact of the matter is, it should never have come down to that because our freaking backup quarterback absolutely lost us this game today. Because he can never, ever get his eyes off of one guy. Never changes his approach. Just goes in there and does the same thing week in, week out, whenever he gets a chance to play. I am so done with this guy. I've been done with this guy since week 4, but this game just freaking reinforces it. And remember what I said in my post game. We lose this game to Baltimore, it wasn't going to be pretty. Well, am I happy in this video? Do you see me laughing in this video? Do you see me patting this team on the back? No. This is our 8th loss of the year. And this all but guarantees Mike Tomlin is going to have a losing season because you couldn't beat an undermanned Ravens team who had Tyler Huntley injured in this game, and he's in for concussion protocol as well. So they practically beat us with their third stringer. And now you got to play the Carolina Panthers next week. May as well play another third-string backup quarterback because they don't have Baker Mayfield anymore. They're going to be having either P.J. Walker or Sam Darnold in that game. And then you got to play the Vegas Raiders, and we all know that the Raiders fucking own us. But Mitch Trubisky today, this is not the game to blame Matt Canada. And trust me, I am the last person on earth that would ever stick up for Matt Canada. I am. But this is not the game to blame him. This one is 1,000% on Mitch Trubisky. You look at that score, 16-14. It was a winnable game for us. If we don't turn the ball over, we could have won today. Despite the god-awful game that Mitch Trubisky had, we could have won. Now you see why I was hard on the Steelers last week despite the fact that we won. Now you see why I was ripping into Deontay Johnson for those drops. Now you see why I was ripping into Deontay Johnson for playing it too safe and being afraid to go up against the defensive back. Now you see why? Because of crap like this. Mistakes will cost you one way or another. They will. And you will remember them in some kind of way. And Mitch Trubisky is a perfect example of that kind of game today. Get Mitch off this team, Omar Khan. I don't care what you got to do. Get him off this team. He is a disgrace to the black and gold. And I have seen this team have some shit quarterbacks over the year, even in the Big Ben era. Landry Jones, garbage. Michael Vick, when he came here, garbage. Mason Rudolph, garbage. But you know what? All that, Tommy Maddox, garbage. Cordell Stewart, garbage. But you want to know what all them quarterbacks have in common? They are all better than Mitch Trubisky. Because at least those quarterbacks have shown they can get some kind of spark going with an offense. They can get some kind of change going with an offense. They can provide some kind of maneuverability with this offense. Mitch Trubisky, I don't get that sense at all with Mitch Trubisky. And you guys coddle him just because he has a likable personality? Well, shit, Baker Mayfield has a likable personality, and he's not very popular in the league. Except for last Thursday night, when he led a game-winning drive against the Raiders. I've had it with this guy. I have absolutely had it with this guy. Get him out of here. Do whatever you need to do to get this sorry-ass loser off the team. It is a travesty that Dwayne Haskins had to be the one to pass away in the offseason. May God rest his soul. Because if that never happened to Dwayne Haskins, I wouldn't be sitting down here making this video about Mitch. Would not be happening because we all know Dwayne Haskins would be the second string quarterback. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I've had it with him. Pittsburgh Steelers, to say that I'm disappointed in you is a massive understatement. This is by far the worst performance that we've had all season. The Philly game was awful, don't get me wrong, but that was expected. The Buffalo game was awful, but that was expected because the Bills are a Super Bowl favorite. Week 2 against New England, awful, but it was expected, kind of, because we can't beat New England to save our lives. The Miami game, that's probably up there too, because we had so many chances to win that game, but we blew them all. This one, there are no redeeming qualities at all for this one. I am incredibly ashamed. I am extremely upset, extremely disappointed with this team. Your biggest rival, and you completely just... There are not enough words in the English dictionary to describe what I saw today. I am ashamed of each and every one of you on this team today. Ashamed. Especially with number 10. Get the hell out of here. And that's all I gotta say. Let me know what you think down below. Steel Sermon, check it on out for the night. May God be with you all.